In the bullpen today, we have a survivor of significant police misconduct and his attorney. The horror of one man being shot at damn near 100 times by the police. Here it is. It's a damn shame. We have Jonathan Strickland, father of two. The brother supports wildlife, has been a leader advocate. We have his attorney, DeWitt M. Lacey. Jonathan, I have to say, brother, I have to ask, what was going through your mind when bullets were simply flying inside of your vehicle?
Honestly, I thought I was going to die. I mean, your life flashes, before your eyes. You feel the pain, the heat of your skin, of your muscle tissue just searing. And I just remember the pain and just thinking of my children. At the time, my youngest son was not born. And all I could think of was wanting to meet him, wanting to get back to my oldest son, Jedediah. And it's a miracle that I'm here, but all I could think of was just wanting to get back to my children.
Right before this shooting, these officers were informed by Mr. Strickland's ex-wife that Mr. Strickland intended on coming to the police station and shooting up all the police and having this monstrous shootout with law enforcement. They were definitely amped up, but they had seen before they engaged with Mr. Strickland that he was unarmed. They had a drone come out and survey. They could see he had nothing in his hands besides his phone and his water. They gave him no commands to stop or halt. They only acted very aggressively and violently and unconstitutionally, I would add.
I have never reported on 90 bullets flying at one person before. Have you seen something this extreme?
Not often. I'll tell you, there definitely have been times. I do remember circumstances, even in Stockton, California, where there were a hail of bullets, but not for something where there's a person that's unarmed. And there was no real specific crime they could say that he had committed, other than allegations that had been made against him at the time.
When this took place, you were in knowledge of the pursuit. Did you have any idea that they were going to start firing at you?
No, Dr. Rashad Ritchie. I had no idea. I didn't understand why they were ramming into me, why they didn't say any commands. I mean, you using assault rifles, you reload. I mean, so to show everybody, my hands were up. This shows that I got hit right here, everywhere is across the back. But the fact is, I had my hands up. And they could not hear me yelling, "I'm unarmed," repeatedly. I thought when I heard the brief moment and not hearing any bullets firing at me, I'm like, thankful, it's finally over. And then when they kept shooting, I really thought I was gonna die. When you see that picture of my truck and that blood stain on the ground, that's all from what hit me in my hip. And I still have a bullet in my pelvis there. Like that, all that blood was from just one spot. Just imagine losing all of that blood. Your life flashes before your eyes. I really thought I was gonna die.
The way this happened was that your wife called the police and said you were going to harm officers, you would not surrender. Indisputable received another document where she said, "I made all of that up and I'm sorry." Do you think her race has something to do with the way they
Yes.
responded to you?
I strongly do, Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Think about it. We've seen it before, and I hate to bring up history, but I think it's very relevant. But Emmett Till, he lost his life because a white woman lied. He doesn't get to come back. I shouldn't be here. It's a miracle I'm here. My ex lied. All I've ever wanted to do is be there for my children. I love my boys. You know, that's my pride and joy as my sons. But to not even be able to see my children, it's been 2 years since this. Justice to me, truthfully, Dr. Rashad Ritchie, is just being able to see my children. You know, everything that happened to me was absolutely unacceptable. But in all of it, I just want to be able to get back to my children and teach them about animals and just loving nature. That's all I really want to do, Dr. Rashad Ritchie.
Did your ex receive any criminal penalty once she admitted she made it up and lied to the police and it almost got you killed?
No, she has not faced any retaliation. And actually, Dr. Rashad Ritchie, she was residing with my mother for the year while I was incarcerated. She was residing with my mother for the year while I was incarcerated. So
Wow.
I haven't gotten to see my children. On my youngest son's first birthday, while I was crying from a jail cell, just wishing I could be there and tell him happy birthday, my ex and my mom were smiling, taking pictures, having fun at Disney World. I just want to be able to see my children. I'm still not allowed to see them. I'm still facing, obviously, charges, even though I'm confident in a court of law that we'll be able to prove without a doubt, favorable reasoning. I'm glad that I'm allowed to still be able to live, but Dr. Rashad Ritchie, I just think it's important for people to know if I didn't survive, nobody would have ever heard my story. If I didn't survive,
nobody would have ever heard my story.
You know, you make a compelling point, and you're absolutely correct. If you would have died, the complete narrative would have lacked perspective and context from you. What injuries did you sustain?
Well, I'll walk with a limp for the rest of my life. So I have a bullet lodged deep inside my pelvis. They cannot remove it because they said if they were to try to remove it, I would probably lose so much blood that I would bleed out. I have a bullet, like fragments in my shoulder right here. So when it entered my back, it was very close to my spine, and luckily it didn't hit it, but it's still lodged there. I'm in pain all the time. Even sitting up right now, it hurts. I look at it as I would rather have these injuries and be alive so I can still be able to teach people about animals and show my sons that I love them, because I'm still more useful now than I would be if I was in a grave. So,
Attorney Lacy, let me ask you, why do you think there was no prosecution when she clearly articulated in writing she made it all up? Why was there no prosecution or investigation to prosecute?
Look, this is the type of thing, Dr. Ritchie, and thanks for the question, that happens a lot, right? Especially when it comes to Black folk, right? Who are encountered by police, especially when police act violently towards them. Somehow or another, those people end up with charges against them, despite whatever the evidence may be. And I really see this as kind of a cover your butt charge to demonize Mr. Strickland and to make people, feel less, moved by his story, so that they won't support him and that he'll feel alone. But we're here with him.
I would like you to tell viewers, what would you like them to know about you, this ordeal, what you're trying to get accomplished now?
I just want people to know that, I love animals, and my goal has always just been to show people that, this planet is beautiful and worth protecting. There's so many cool animals and plants. I can't wait to teach my sons about it. And I honestly always wanted to be, I've said it before, but I've always wanted to be the black crocodile hunter. But instead of crocodiles, I love snakes. And I just want to be able to hopefully be a light of positivity in this world and just continue to be positive. So thank you, Dr. Ritchie.
True stories. Gotta get your mind right, gotta get your head straight. If you don't go come up dead, better never hesitate. Smashing up the interstate, scraping up my dinner plate. Time to cut the rope, I ain't holding no more dead weight.